make our dinner on a budget with us. I promise you, it's really easy. Most of the stuff you can buy at the dollar store. The only thing I could say is you could substitute the meat for like ground beef, ground turkey, whatever. We're just doing chicken strips because honestly, sometimes it's nice to change it up from just having beef or turkey, ground turkey. And then it's almost like a chicken parmigiana. Ooh. First things first, I preheated the oven to 400 and I've got my baking tray lined out. And I'm gonna put a couple of pieces of buttermilk chicken breast pieces. They're just chicken strips essentially. $10 for that much, pretty good. But they just unfortunately upped the price to $15 for that much chicken at our local superstore. So that's great, yay inflation. And also to any of those who want to come for me and try to say, well, if you actually made your dinner, boo boo. And anyone who wants to come for me and say, oh, you should just hand make everything, it'd be cheaper in the long run. First of all, no it wouldn't. And second of all, I don't have the fucking luxury of time like you people. I'm a volunteer firefighter, I work and I go to school, and my husband works full time. We do not have the time to sit and sweat away in the kitchen, hand making every little piece of food. Next, I'm gonna take noodles, which we have the ends of 2 different types of noodles, and we do not care. We will eat them no matter what they look like. Noodles of multiple different kinds. We do not discriminate in this house, especially when they're so expensive. So one of those bags is from the dollar store and one was left over from when we could actually afford to buy noodles. Next, I'm gonna take this can of Heinz tomato soup, which I bought lovingly from the dollar store, and open that and crack it into my pot with the noodles. And then I'm gonna take some lactose-free milk because I am lactose intolerant and I don't want to shit myself tonight, and pour it in the empty can of soup. Like so. And in you go. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of water, so probably half of one of these IKEA cups, just to help the noodles absorb. Next, we're gonna hit with some spices. I've got this garlic powder, which a hack for all of you guys who want to save money, go to the international foods aisles at your grocery stores and buy seasonings, because I believe this was $4, and that's all garlic powder. As we say with garlic, measure with your heart. Some dollar store black pepper. We have some dollar store fine Himalayan pink salt. And last but not least, another find from the international foods aisle, all-purpose seasoning, and this is fantastic, especially if you like things a little bit salty. All of the seasonings, as you can see, and now I've got it warming up on the stove, just making sure I didn't turn the wrong element on, because I often do that, and we're just gonna let it simmer for a bit to kind of mix up. And because it's never enough seasoning, I'm gonna put some Worcestershire sauce, or however the hell you say that, in as well. Because I love this, we'll just give her a nice squirt. And since we are a multicultural house, we go for some Frank's Red Hot Extra Hot, because I love spicy food now, and my husband does as well. Frank's Red Hot. And last but not least, take whatever marinara tomato sauce you have that is a premix in the refrigerator and lump some of that in there as well. And see, look it all together. We'll just mix, and then I'm gonna cover it and let it kind of simmer for a while so that the noodles can start to take in some of those fluids while the chicken strips cook away in the oven. That's the color I generally look for though, like a nice kind of orangey red. And it's just simmering now. As I said previously, generally we don't do this with chicken strips. It's generally ground beef or shredded chicken, but tonight we just felt like we wanted to just have some chicken strips, just like chicken parmigiana without the parmesan because we can't afford it. It's too expensive. And then yeah, our $10 chicken strips from Superstore, which are now going to be $15, so that's even greater. But I am yeast intolerant, I am lactose intolerant, God knows what else. So there's a lot of things that we cannot buy to trying to cut corners. But this is a cheap meal, and most likely That amount of food will probably last us tonight and maybe tomorrow night as well. So my husband and I do like to eat. We only generally eat about a meal a day right now just because of limited groceries. So yeah. So it's bubbling now, which is good. I'll probably turn it down, but it's starting to evaporate some of that water and it's absorbing in the noodles. And then our oven, we've got our chicken strips getting all nice and toasty. I am making this on a weekend right now, but generally this is a weeknight meal. This is something that I just get done because it's all in one pot, especially with ground beef, and I can just kind of like idly throw things in while I'm doing other things around the house and getting ready for my next day. So husband just lovingly did some shredded cheese up, and have you noticed that the bricks of cheese are getting a lot smaller? It says it's 400 grams, but I swear to you, that's a lot smaller than normal. But generally, I put a little bit of cheese in the bottom of the bowl. It is lactose free before anyone says anything, because I'm kind of trying to go for like a tomatoey, cheesy Parmesan, chicken Parmigiana thing. But yeah, that's actually something I've been meaning to talk about, the fact that our bricks of cheeses have been getting a lot smaller. And my husband got some like Lay's stacks, or those no-name Pringles. No-name Pringles, they're like $1, but they're not filling them up all the way anymore either. So definitely we're seeing a lot of things lacking in the amount that they are posted to be. That's what the pasta looks like now. Probably start plating it. And our chicken strips are nice and grilled. Woo, she's steamy. And that's what the pasta looks like. I'm gonna top it off with some cheese before I put the chicken strips on, just so that the cheese can get all melty while it's still nice and hot. By the way, that amount of cheese was probably 1/4 of a block. So like, that much. And I put the chicken strips in with a little bit more of that cheese on top, and that is the finished product. Yummy, yummy. My husband will probably put more Frank's Red Hot on, but that is good for me. Enjoy.